All right, hi guys. So my name is Blake. This is my final semester, and I'm so excited to share with you what I learned. So what are the effects of low intensity versus high intensity resistance training on muscular hypertrophy? A little bit of background is, well, what is muscular hypertrophy? Muscular hypertrophy is an increase in muscle volume or mass. The muscle fibers are stimulated to get bigger when they're exposed to different levels of resistance training or mechanical loading. The size of a person's muscles is dependent on how the motor units are working, along with the mechanical threshold that's being put on the body during a workout. Low intensity resistance training is breaking down and building the muscle back up. In low intensity, you are doing more reps, but with a slightly lower weight. The goal in this type of training is to build muscle, to build that lean muscle. You're not necessarily looking for weight loss, but you're trying to build up muscle. Whereas high intensity training, or if you've known it as a HIIT workout, it's working out many muscle groups and really building up that sweat and getting that heart rate up. And it consists of lifting weights, but it also consists of having a lot of cardio days built in. The benefits of high intensity is that you're getting your heart rate up, you're burning those calories that you want, and you're dropping weight, and that's what this is good for. That's what high intensity is good for. A good way to describe it is you're stretching out the muscles, you're working them out, but you're not building up that continuous muscle like you would be in low intensity. So why is this topic important? The purpose of this study was to determine whether or not high intensity was better or low intensity was better for muscle hypertrophy. But the question in particular is important to aesthetics of how a person looks. People want to feel like the results they are looking for are happening quickly and safely. They want to be able to see it, and people like that instant gratification. By looking into this question, I'm looking for the safest and most effective way to get the muscle hypertrophy that's desired when working out. When people are trying to figure out what the best workout is or how to gain that muscle, we want to see how each person's body and each person's different eating habits, and there are so many variables involved when it comes to building muscle and getting the hypertrophy wanted, that we have to consider all outcomes. So my hypothesis was hypertrophy will become greater when exposed to low intensity training as compared to high intensity training. Like I said in the beginning, low intensity is all about building that lean muscle, all about those how many reps you're doing at a lower weight. So you're continuously ripping the muscle, whereas high intensity, you're constantly working the muscles, you're constantly getting your heart rate up, and you're at risk for more fatigue if you do high intensity too often. There are going to be issues and advantages of with any type of workout, but no matter what you're doing, you're still working out your body and staying healthy. Some benefits of high intensity training: you work up a good sweat, you feel like you worked out a lot, like you feel like you did a lot, when in reality you lost that weight. You can do a high intensity at home, working, traveling. You can do it anywhere. Not everyone needs to do these things at the gym. Same with the low intensity. You can do those in your house. You can do them when you're traveling. They're both really good to do either way. And benefits for low intensity: you can start seeing results right away. You start to feel that little bit of pump you're getting. You can see it in the mirror. It's a quick pump, but it's that instant gratification like I talked about. And you can work out for a longer period of time because you're not fatiguing yourself. Participants. And with this study, you can really use anyone, but it's better to use the college-age students who are already in athletics, the people who are going to the gym. You can use males and females. For the particular study that I am talking about today, it's on younger adults. So 18 to 25, and how they reacted to it. What you'll need: procedures and instrumentation. For beginners, you can start them on high resistance training. It'll be easier to finish a full workout because, again, you're feeling like you did more. Low intensity, you're working out the isolated muscles more intensely, so leg day, back day, arm day, etc. When researching this particular question, you'll need there are so many statistical tests that you can use, such as a two-dependent sample t-test, a one-way ANOVA test, a factorial ANOVA. You'll need two groups for each of these tests, but a dependent t-test compares the means of two related groups, so male and male, female, female, elderly and elderly. They have to be the same, whereas a factorial ANOVA, it's being compared across two or more independent variables. So you can have multiple people, you can have multiple groups. You don't just need one or two, and they don't have to be the same. We're comparing it amongst all the means. For this, the dependent variables would be training type, the load, the repetitions, the rest periods. So what type of training? How are we measuring it? How long is that person resting? Are their muscles getting fatigued? Are we overloading them? There are so many different things to look into. Independent variables are the temperature in the training facility and the apparel. I mean, those things don't really have anything to do with your muscle hypertrophy other than you feel good or you're warm or you're sweating more. And the test selection is the 1 rep max bench press, the sit-up and the push-up test, because we're really ripping and tearing those biceps and triceps muscles. We're getting to know, and our chest muscles, we're seeing what the difference between doing just 1 rep or multiple reps at a lower rate does to the body. Both exercises can be a challenge to the body in different ways, but they both don't necessarily increase much muscle hypertrophy. In resistance training, your muscles are getting a high volume pump with the blood flowing very quickly to them, allowing your VO2 max to be slightly higher in your post than your workout before, but not too much away from your resting VO2. In low resistance training, the blood flow is usually restricted, allowing your muscles to work harder and retain more of the muscle mass. So it all depends on the body type and how you're working out and how you're taking care of your body after you do the workouts. It's not necessarily one or the other. I found it's both of them are good to tear the muscles and to rebuild and to get that hypertrophy one desires. So the argument of which type of training is better, high or low, is dependent on the person. There are so many factors that contribute to getting the muscle hypertrophy desired, so long as one can answer the questions of, am I eating right? Well, what type of muscles what am I looking for? Am I isolating the right muscle groups? Do I need a trainer? There are so many different questions. When looking at different fitness paths, one should consider, what do they want out of training? Do they need to change anything in their daily routine? One must determine how much time and effort they're willing to put into getting the desired results. When it comes to high resistance training versus low resistance training, it is seen that low resistance training has higher hypertrophy and muscle strengthening outcome than higher resistance training. In the articles that I read and just in my own personal, I get a better workout doing low resistance. It's recommended that the muscular strength and endurance adaptations can be attained by performing a single set of 8 to 12 repetitions to monetary muscle failure at the repetition duration that maintains muscular tension throughout the entire range of motion for the most major muscle groups 1 to twice a week. We don't want to fatigue our muscles. It's recommended to let each muscle group have time to rest at least 48 hours. To fully obtain maximum hypertrophy, one should include a variation of weightlifting, using reps, and a rest cycle. Vary exercises or activities so the body does not become complacent, and even consider investing in a trainer. So that's my presentation. I realized a lot, especially in just what type of exercises should be done and really what low intensity and high intensity training is. I hope someone learned something from this and you guys liked it, and have a wonderful rest of the semester. Thank you.